us a lot. Fill up the first few. We're not going to be here till 9 o'clock. We're going to be somewhere else having some tea. Spike tea. No. Oh, put your phones on silent, and please tweet, and please use hashtag Power the Sister Vote. BWR empowers for our hashtag Power the Sister Vote, and BWR empowers. And we just fill up. And Mustafa, Anthony, we actually may end up needing more chairs because I know some more folks are going to come. Okay. So how y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? So y'all ready to just kind of close this thing out? How you want to close it out? You just want to just chill, or you want to just make some noise? So for formalities, I'm Melanie Campbell. I am the national convener for the Black Women's Roundtable. All right. I also head up the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. I want to thank you all for showing up for our closeout of our 8th annual Black Women's Roundtable Women of Power National Summit. It's been 5 days of doing what we need to do. And what do I mean by that? We showed up on Thursday on Capitol Hill and on Friday on Capitol Hill. We know in 2018, we shifted power in this country. And so we had to show up, and we're going to keep showing up to make sure the folks who say that blue wave, I'm just talking nonpartisan, but just also a little political facts. That blue wave, somebody said, nope, it was a black woman wave earlier. I'm going to take that. And I don't know who said it, so I say, I'm giving credit, but I can't remember who said it, but I'm going to own that, right? So we can say we are the black women's wave, and we change in this country. So this is just to close this thing out, to just have some thoughts about where we're going next, to really focus on, want to hear from you all, from different folks in the room who are going to just share, drop some knowledge, just what's at stake in 2020, right? What as black women we need to do to continue to build and leverage our power so that we can change all those sessions you all were in today and yesterday, and organizing sessions and sharing that knowledge and dropping that knowledge and hearing our young people lay out their dreams and what they want to see happen. The political process affects everything we talked about, from the technology on over to dealing with criminal justice, dealing with our education system, and all those things that you all did today, ending the school to prison pipeline. So this is just our way to close out. It's our call to action. And also, I just want to, again, thank you all. And we have Deborah Scott. I don't know if Kamara Hudson is in the room yet, and she'll be coming up. But Deborah Scott from Georgia, Stand Up, Executive Director, is going to serve as our we got to kind of our co-MC with you until Kamara comes. And y'all can sing and dance and do everything you want to do. But I think Trudy Lucas is here, tuned up, and come give us our inspiration.
So, good evening. Good afternoon. Was it good? Yeah. Was it good? All right. So we've been refreshed a little bit. We poured out. Have you been poured into? Yeah. And are you almost ready to go home? No. You're not. You're almost ready to go home? No. You need a little bit more. We got a little bit more. So we're going to start out with some song, because you know what we do. So, Leah Daughtry, take us into a good, I'm sorry. See, like I took the glasses off. Yes, Trudy. Where's your name?
I got it. I can take it.
Okay, Trudy, go ahead.
Hey, ladies, how are you doing? Yes, has this not been amazing? Amazing. All right, we know it's a little cool right now, so we're going to get you out of your seats. I'm going to ask Chaka Khan to help me out, and we're just going to dance to I'm Every Woman. Because that's what we are, and we're here to change America. So let's go, cue it up. See, they should have been on it. I guess we're going to have Whitney. All right, come on, ladies, let's go. Get up out of your seat. Hey. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Yeah. It's all in me. Do it naturally. Hey, come on. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Hey, everyone from A to Z. Hey. Oh, come on. Where are you young folks at? Come on, get it. Hey. Come on, get that blood pumping. Get that blood pumping. Hey. Hey, I'm every woman. It's all in me. Hey, do it naturally. Hey, oh, come on, get that blood pumping. Yeah, yeah. Come on, pump it up, pump it up. That's what I got. Hey, I'm every woman. It's all in me. Hey, do it naturally. Hey, y'all warming up now? Hey, it's all in me. Hey. Yeah. We just want to get your blood, get you a little warmer. Hey. Because I'm the one. It shall be done. Hey. Go, Mel. Go, Mel. Go, Mel. Go, Mel. Go, Mel. Yeah. Come on, hey. I'm every woman. Hey, I'm every woman. I'm every woman. I'm every woman. Oh, I'm every woman. Hey. Hey. Yeah. I'm every woman. Hey. I'm every woman. Hey. Oh, I'm every woman. Hey. Hey. Okay. All right, that's a lot of fun. All right, so we're going to get this party started, and we already have. Come on, my co-facilitator. All right. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Evening, whatever time of day it is, honestly. I've lost track about 2 days ago about what time it actually is. But thank you all for having us here tonight.
Yeah. So what did you think about this week?
So this conference I come back to this conference every year for a reason. And it is certainly because it is one of the only, and I am now 100% certain of this, places where Black women have serious, real conversations intergenerationally about public policy that are real, that are about organizing, that is about developing communities that often don't get much say in politics, that don't get much say, even though they seem to be talking a lot amongst themselves all the time, that I now work in a predominantly white policy space that doesn't have that constantly is like, well, I just didn't know Black women were having conversations about juvenile justice, like it isn't our children that are being arrested. I didn't know that Black women were having conversations about the environment while people in Flint are drinking lead water, right? And so it's funny that all of these policy conversations that I feel like I now see a whole bunch and have all of these conversations about often pretends. Like at this point, I now think it is actively pretending. Like it is now no longer just we don't know, but an active pretending that Black women don't have these kinds of conversations. Because now we've seen Florida, we've seen Georgia, we've seen all of that, and it's now nearly impossible to deny that Black women have meaningful, impactful, and important policy conversations, that Black girls are driving movements, right? Realizing that Black girls were a major part of the March for Our Lives, that Black girls were a major part of the student climate sit-in that happened last week, that there were Black girls in Nairobi, Kenya, and Washington, D.C., Ilhan Omar's own daughter, organizing people to sit out in terms to protect our environment from climate change. And so I guess I'm here every year out of gratitude, as a space of healing, as a space of having the conversations about the people that I care the most about. I know that you all are here for that too, and so I'm incredibly grateful to that.
Woo! I think we've done our job.
So, yeah. Hopefully.
Okay, so our next speaker is going to be Leah Daughtry. She's not here. Okay. Julianne Marvel, troublemaker. Troublemaker. Okay, so we need you to give us some words of inspiration, and I heard it's okay to cuss just a little bit here.
Well, I promise not to.
No one told me that.
I promise not. Don't tell me that I can cuss, because it ain't going to turn out right. And I'm not going to cuss by calling that man's name who occupies the place that slaves built. We just going to call him 45 and leave it at that. Or we can also call him Rump. You know, not the whole, just Rump, because he acts like one. Know what I mean? But first of all, I'm happy to be here. I want to congratulate Melanie on yet another year of successful roundtable. Yes, please. And I want to congratulate all of you who stayed through the 5 days. That was some heavy lifting, but I know, as the young sister said, you have been fully fed. But this is not the time to either sit on our laurels, nor is it the time for us to rest. You come here to be renewed, and then you go home to kick some you-know-what. Because even in those places where we want, we have Ayanna Pressley, we've got Ilhan, we've got some great representatives, work still has to be done. The devil is busy. So you see these fools going after AOC. Now, my only problem with AOC is that there's some other first-year people that people need to pay attention to. But they have gone after that young woman in unspeakable ways. Picking up pictures from when she was back in the day she was in college. Who didn't dance in college? We were all dancing just here. You know, and put that on the internet. Some of y'all, why don't you? You know, I don't care. So if you see me dancing, you had a video, put it on the internet. It will prove to some people that I'm less serious than they think I am. So go for it. But in any case, we know that there's work to do. If nothing else motivates you, you should look at the budget that fool sent to Congress. That budget is a disgrace, but it reflects his priorities. It tells you exactly who he is. Literally 57% of the discretionary budget, more than half, will go to the military. They would cut the Department of Education by 12%. We are in the middle of a climate change emergency. If you want an emergency, that's the emergency. but he will cut the Environmental Protection Agency by 31%, the Department of Energy by 25%. That's what's at stake, y'all. That's what's at stake. And that's why we have to keep working. We have a Democratic House, and some of y'all nonpartisan, I'm not. I am like a yellow dog Democrat. You know, I mean, I vote for a yellow dog if it was a Democrat. I mean, it would be very hard. My hand cannot move in an upright position to put the lever down for an R. It just won't happen that way. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, they are decent Republicans. I can let some come to my house and eat my food. But that's all. They can even have a drink. But that's all. They can't stay and they can't have a vote. That's all. So in any case, I'm not going to be nonpartisan. I don't think at this time we can afford to be. There will be a time when we can be, but this is not the time. Yes, we should be spread across the spectrum. Yes, we should have access to everything. But right this minute, our best bet, and it's not a perfect bet either, is the Democratic Party. So looking again at this budget, what is going to save us with this budget? People started panicking as soon as that fool sent the budget up to Congress. People started, but this is not the time to panic. We can stop this mess. The hearings process has only just begun. They have not even, the appropriations committees are just beginning to meet. So I need y'all to understand, the process is he submits a budget, Congress looks at it, then there are going to be 13 appropriations committees on either side, on the House and on the Senate. They will go through, fine-tooth comb it. They will provide their estimation of what they want. Now remember, on the House side, we have Democrats. So they will provide their estimation of what they want. When the House and the Senate finish, they will have conference. And they will try to reconcile the House side and the Senate side. And then when they come up with some reconciliation, the fool has to sign it. Now, you know, he doesn't always sign everything he gets. That's how we ended up with a 35-day government shutdown. But you know, he can't do that anymore. Because what we learned with that shutdown is how many people, how many Americans live at the margin. And that's what's at stake. 40% of all Americans could not, this is not black Americans, 40% of all Americans could not absorb a $400 emergency. What is a $400 emergency? Your engine blows on your car. Somebody, or your windshield. Somebody throws a rock at your windshield. Insurance doesn't cover it. Or your child is rushed to the emergency room and they ask you, before they look at the child, where is your copay? You know? I broke my arm. I'm laying in the bed. They said, where is your copay? I'm like, y'all better get the you-know-what up out of here and let me see a doctor. Where is my copay? In my pocket, and you ain't getting it until I get around to it. That's the act that I started acting like I was about to die. I mean, I paid him, but I paid him at my time. I'm sitting there bleeding. You talk about where is your copay? But if you didn't have a credit card, you didn't have a copay. And this is a kind of emergency that most Americans cannot withstand. But this man wants to cut food stamps. He wants to cut Medicare and Medicaid. He wants to cut Social Security. That's what's at stake, y'all. And then these people want to keep changing terms and changing definitions. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau basically been made impotent because they've taken, now they have new rules making it easier to do payday lending. That's 360% interest a year. So that's what's at stake, y'all. She's standing over there. It's time for me to sit down. What's at stake is, I understand hovering, sister. I do understand hovering. You hovering at me like, time to go. No, you said. I'm good with it. You're doing your job. The fate of our HBCUs is at stake. You know, what's her name? Betsy. I call her Betsy devoid, as in devoid of good sense. You know, because she don't have no sense at all. She will cut our HBCUs and those accrediting agencies that give us all such a hard time, like messing with my Bennett College. So they are all basically certified by the Department of Education. That's what's at stake. We have a stupid woman in charge of the Department of Education. Now, the people keep talking about meritocracy. If there was a meritocracy, that woman would be picking up dog doo somewhere. I mean, she would not be in charge of the Department of Education. And so let's be clear what's at stake. Our very survival is at stake. So, you know, you all have 5 intense days. You go home, you get about like 24 hours to rest. And then I want you to go on Google, or go on whatever, look up Twitter. There's my girl from Twitter. Go look up who is on these appropriations committees and start writing them letters. telling them who you want to hear from. Barbara Lee is a CBC member who's on education, health, education, labor, and something. I was trying to remember them all. I can't remember them all. I'm old. But all you have to do is go on Appropriations Committee, look them up, start writing them. Janice Mathis, we need you up there testifying during this budget process. I'm calling out the executive director of the National Council of Negro Women because she knows what she's doing, Attorney Janice Mathis. We want you up there. And any of you who has expertise, you write them. You tell them you want to speak. What we have at stake is not only our lives, but the lives of our babies. And to understand this, when our little sisters see us quiet, we are giving them permission to be quiet. When they see us quiet, we are erasing them. You know, and when white people come up to you and tell you they don't see race, tell them that means you don't see me. Because guess what? Because, you know, people want to say people of color, but I'm going to tell you what I am. Black, 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 black. So don't be scared to be black. You know, back in the day, see, y'all who are under 50, I feel sorry for y'all because you didn't get to slow dance to this song called Be Real Black for Me. There was a song, Be Real Black for Me. And that's what a brother got to be. Bring it black. Bring it black. So, y'all, go home, turn it out. We just had our sorority, Delta Sigma Theta, had Delta Days at the nation's capital. But you need to go to your state capitals, too, and to your city councils, and every place else you can go. Make your voice heard. They know we have voice. They know we all that. They scared. And let's keep them scared. Because we know what to do. Thank y'all.
All right. Are they scared? You know I love you. Okay, they're scared. They're scared. All right, Holly. Now, we went to the Capitol, and we did what you told us to do. What's the next step?
All right. Well, the good news is that following behind Dr. Balvo, she gave you your first assignment. And that was to advocate. We've got all these issues. We know we got a lot, y'all. But we have to advocate. So we already did that one. The next one is we have to make sure that we're counted. The census is coming, y'all. And they just did a study that showed that African American men are the least educated about the census. So that means us as women, we're going to have to bring them in and let them know and make sure that all of our communities are counted. Women, men, children, they try to divide us another way, immigrants, city, rural, all them people need to be counted. And know that this is not about citizenship. This is about people. Every people, if you a people, however you decide your peopleness, you need to be counted in the census. Okay, I got a couple more though. The next thing, voting. Now we're all in this room experts at voting. We got the power to sister vote down. But what voting includes and what you need to make sure that you tell the people is we got to register to vote, we got to verify our vote, we got to educate the people about the vote, we have to actually vote, and then we have to protect it all. So we got to make sure we're doing all of that. And then the next assignment is we have to elect the people. And I'm going to spend just a little bit right here. I say elect the people. Some of them will be black women. But we got to be honest, y'all. We got to elect the people that represent our interests. Okay? I grew up in a political family. You know, my grandfather was elected. My father was elected. And they had one theme in our household. It was like no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, only permanent interests. So when you go out there and you elect these people, yes, we care about our black sisters. We want them elected. Yes, we care about our black brothers. But first, we care about our interests. So you make sure that you care about your interests when you vote. Once we get them elected, then we have to participate in this redistricting. It's coming. And the people who will draw the lines are the people in your states. Some have committees. Some will be the state legislature. Some will be bipartisan commission. Whatever form it's going to be in your state, you need to make sure that your voice is heard. So those lines are drawn around you and not through you. And then 2 more real quick. And this is the most important one, y'all. And we don't talk about this a lot. And I might get pushed off the stage by Melanie because she don't know I'm about to say this. But we have to fundraise, y'all. This work does not happen on our own. And we have to start creating a culture around giving. Giving means supporting our candidates, supporting our interests, supporting our organizations like the Black Women's Roundtable and the partner organizations that make us all up. We have to be about the business of bringing in money to make all of this happen. And you may not have any, but you need to figure out how to start raising some. And if we're not all fundraisers, we're all going to perish together. So we need to be about that business. Now, that's the work. And you know what they say. You got to work, you got to have faith, and then you have to, come on, some ministers, pray. So my last part is the prayer. Pray that we continue to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, and pray that we will lead, rise, and shine. Thank you.
All right, so I'm very excited about our next speaker because they are the president and CEO from Black Youth Vote, Najee Hunter.
Hey, everybody. Got drip for some. Ah. Ain't even play with you. You can cut it off. You cut it off now. You cut it off now. That's it. That's good. Thank you. I just wanted a little music for y'all, you know. Hey, everybody, how y'all feeling today? That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, this evening, I will be telling y'all exactly how I feel about Black Women's Roundtable. My experience here these past few years have been amazing. I have got to know new women around my age and got to see what they was going through in their own community and how they wanted to change it and how I could change my own problems in my own community. And other than that, I would like to see these young ladies more. I would like to see y'all faces more, a lot more. I want to know how we can do this. I want to make it to where I don't got to be the next person to just say, oh, yeah, we just going to do this. No, let's make it happen, y'all. We got this. We a team. I know we got this. We got this. As the young kids and as the adults, we all got this. We all here together. We got this. You know this. Got this. I'm a little nervous, y'all. Y'all work with me, work with me. But other than that, my past few experiences have been the best, honestly. I probably had some ups and downs, but other than that, they have been the best. I have got to know the people from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a lot more, and other people from other places. And other than that, yeah.
What would you like us to do? You told me. What did you say?
Okay, what I would like y'all to do is bring it together more, just not more than once a year. You get what I'm saying? Like, the young ladies I was just in the group with, I wanted to know more about them. And I can only just get to know a little bit about them because I'm only seeing them once a year. Get what I'm saying? How we going to fix the problems if we only just announcing it once a year? We got to make this known. We got to repeat ourselves. We not heard unless we repeat ourselves. If we don't say nothing, then we not heard. Get what we say? Also, a fella of my young people would like to be in the adult assembly sometimes, not all the time, but a lot more. Because half of the stuff that y'all be saying, we be wanting to say, we be wanting to contribute with what y'all have to say. We be wanting to be there by y'all side to say, yeah, this is right. They're right. What they're saying is right. We just want to be there by y'all side to support y'all just as much as y'all want to support us.
So, read that sign for me. Huh?
It's our time. Nah. Let me do that over.
Okay.
Let me do that over. That ain't even right. I would like us to say this all together, because we are sisters, and we here together. All right, all right. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right.
Don't turn your back.
Don't.
Just turn around.
Let me just stay here.
Come on.
Oh, God. All right. It's our time to lead, rise, and shine.
One more time.
One more time. It's our time to lead, rise, and shine.
One more time.
No more sleeping. We got to wake up. Come on, y'all, sisters. We need y'all.
Stay woke.
Y'all the front of us. We just can say something, for real.
Great. Thank you so much. Yay! Wow. All right. Next, we're going to have Janira Turner Frazier from Pittsburgh.
Good evening, everybody. How are you this evening? I'm here as well, like Ms. Deborah said, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I just decided to write a poem just to kind of have a reflection over this weekend's conference session. And my poem for my poem for this evening is called Black is Beautiful. Black is beautiful. Black is absolutely beautiful. Throughout many centuries, us Black beautiful women, we have overcame and accomplished so much recognition. Well-known history, we are queens, Black, empowering, strong, well-determined, millennium queens. God is good, God is great, God is good all the time. We rise, we stand all together now, us hand in hand, and we shall continue to overcome any obstacle that is thrown in our way, our path, our righteous path. Never forget your self-worth. Never forget your beautiful self-worth. Never let anyone bring you down, because each day we receive is an absolute blessing. Our hard work will continue to be well recognized. We are sick and tired of being silenced. We are sick and tired of not receiving our well-deserved recognition that we shall deserve. We are sick and tired of just being sick and tired. Just always remember, my beautiful and inspiring sisters, our self-worth and our self-love is very most important, and that our beautiful Black recognition, our motivation, and our self-determination is what defines our self-character. No one cannot tell us that we are beautiful, because we are beautiful. Thank you.
We will have Jamida Orange from SCLC and the March Committee in Georgia, and Reverend James Orange. Jamida Orange. That's me.
Look, thank y'all. I'm from Atlanta. Whoop, whoop. Now, first of all, I got to say, I told Mel I wasn't ready. And I'm probably not. However, y'all did not tell me that we could have theme music. So, DJ. Let me see what I want. I want to first, we're going to hold my theme music to the end. But I feel like if you have the clean version, I won't stuntin' like my daddy. Let me tell you what, I operate between the two, because this week is not a conference. This is not a conference. This is a revival. So I went from stunning like my daddy to singing, Oh, oh, freedom. as I approach a significant birthday, and I would tell you because I'm proud of it, but that would date some of the people in this room that do not want to be dated. So I'm going to lay back on that. But as we proceed, as we leave this place and we go home, my thought process is I want us to remember that I believe in me. And I want you to know that I believe in you, my sisters. I want you to know that I've always known that my vote is my power. Not because my parents, the late Reverend James Orange, and my mother, Cleophas Orange, they worked so hard. My dad almost died in Marion, Alabama for this right to vote. So they worked so hard for us to be here. But I am leaving here intentionally because I am a black woman with the power. So as we return home, remember your agenda. Remember, I vote black, not necessarily black, but black woman. So don't forget when you go home that you are a black woman. Don't let somebody choose. My agenda is not everybody's agenda, and we got to stand and be unapologetic about who we are. So I stand here not apologizing for being Jemita Orange, a fat black woman from the South with parents who believe. I stand here, and you are right. I don't look at people when they tell me they are colorblind. I give them the side eye because the first thing I need you to see, the first thing I want you to see is that I'm black. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm studying like my dad.
Okay, all right.
All right, let's keep this party going. Latasha Brown. Jemita Orange. Boy, she be stunned like her daddy. She about to make me go back to my club days over here. Well, the first thing I did right was the day I started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on. Well, the last thing I did wrong, I stayed in the wilderness a day too long. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on. Amen. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. Hey, freedom, freedom, where are you? Because I need freedom too. Anybody know that song? I knew y'all would know that. All right, then I hear a little, come on. So how y'all doing, sisters? How you doing? I'm not up here to get a speech. We had speeches. We'll learn all kind of things. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. You won't sing. Now, you know, I want to say thank you because oftentimes we need black space. We need space that we can come together in a space that's safe, that is a space that is loving, that is in a space that is reaffirming. I come here like I'm the Energizer Bunny to plug myself in. I was like, okay, and I'm going back and I'm ready, right? And so there are a couple of things that I just kind of wanted to share with you all in terms of what's on my mind and what's on my spirit. That ultimately we're looking at this world and we're looking at what's happening in the world and folks are talking about the problems. Let me say, sisters, we can do this. We got to rise up. This isn't about this opportunity. Folk ain't acting crazy because they winning. They're acting crazy because they losing. They're acting crazy because they're losing. If you listen to the narrative, you would think that you're powerless. If you're so powerless, why do you go through so much trouble to keep me from voting. That must in itself tell you something's to it, right? And so there's in this process, y'all, the number one thing we've got to recognize is there's not the power outside of yourself, but the power that is here, right? The power, you have power. If nothing else, when you go home, you've got to plug into your power. And there are a couple of things I want to share with you all that I want to say that I think is really important. How many of y'all out there got a website? How many of you have your name? You own your name. Buy your name. You can get it for $9.99 on GoDaddy, right? Get you a website. How many of y'all got Twitter or Facebook? It's okay. Listen, it is okay to play around, but the world needs to hear what is on the minds of black women on a tip of what is our vision of moving forward. So what we need you all to do is to literally start seeing yourself as opinion leaders and opinion makers. And being able to do that, guess what I need y'all to do? I need you to read. I need you to read. I need you to read books that can tell you about the history of our folks. Because you ain't going to know the history that your people just 9 years after slavery had saved. These are formerly enslaved Africans that had saved $51 million, right? In the federal, in the Freedmen's Bureau Bank. And they're not going to tell you that the reason why we don't have that money is because the white bankers on Wall Street actually took that money and messed all of it up and wiped us out. And then folks will say, well, we need to save. We've saved, right? People don't want you to know that after Reconstruction, y'all can look at it. In Mississippi, over 300 black folks got elected by folks who used to be slaves, who were enslaved, right? But the other part of the story is 70 white mobs went overnight and just killed 70 of those folks. I'm saying that because there's always been this complicated history. But at the end of the day, look around the room. We rise, y'all. We rise, y'all. You can't stop the rain. I always say the rain coming. One way, the rain is coming. As this country is browning, right? The world needs us. Don't let us be a blip in history where folks are telling you that all of a sudden, I know I'm getting ready to come off. I know, I see you. I see you. That people are telling you that you just black girl magic. There's always been black girl magic. Always. That's what we've sustained off, right? Don't let people start putting you in, you just a hashtag. You ain't no hashtag. You are the power. This country wouldn't even exist. You are the power. So as I leave, I'm just going to say, black girls, rise up. Know who you are. You got to do your work. If you're going to transform this world, you got to do your work, which means you got to be prepared. You need to read. You need to be centered. You need to surround yourself with other folks that are leaders, right? You need to make sure that you're powering yourself. You can't stop the rain. Black girl, rise up. When I say black girl, you say rise up. Black girl, black girl, black girl. Amen. Thank you.
All right.
I feel like I have like 3 different mics, and I don't know how that happened. But can I get another round of applause for Miss Latasha?
Yeah.
The next person I'm going to call up is from the Ohio Black Women's Roundtable, Miss P.D. Talley.
Good evening, sisters. Boy, what a conference this has been, Mel. This has been awesome to the staff. It's been awesome. So I'm from that great state of Ohio, and you all know Ohio is kind of a mixed bag. We're the state, unfortunately, that litigated purging voters, and the Supreme Court ruled that now that is the law of the land. But we're not discouraged. We're not deterred by that, right? I come to these sessions and this conference to get energized, and I just want to leave you all with just a few nuggets and reflections that I take from this. And I'm going to give you a quote from a great labor leader who is the epitome of what I think is reflective of my work. He said, at the banquet table of life, there are no reserved seats. You get what you can take, and you keep what you can hold. If you can't take nothing, you won't get nothing. And if you can't hold nothing, you won't keep nothing. And you can't take nothing or keep nothing without organization. That's a quote from my labor hero, A. Philip Randolph Institute. Sisters, nothing beats organized money than organized people. Right? So that's who we have to be, and that's what we have to continue to do. As black women, we can do this. We got to use the tools and the tactics that we take from this conference. And we've got to use our mother wit. We got to use just our good sense, and we got to use that and go back home and fight and win. I know you all have been doing it, but let's do it even more, because Latasha's exactly right. If they were winning, they would not be targeting us. But they know that they're losing, and so we've got to rise up even more. And in Ohio, we've been making the investment in the work and the people and the equipment and the things that it takes to win. And I would encourage you all to do that. As I take my seat, there was another quote that I saw this week, and I think this also captures the spirit of what we have had here today. It says, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. But working together is winning. And that's what we got to do as black women. Let's keep coming together. Let's keep making progress. And let's keep doing what we need to do in order for us to win. Use our tools and tactics so that we can continue to win on the things that are important to us. Thank you so much, and I am done.
Excellent. So our next speaker is Audra. She's from Washington, D.C. Welcome.
Thank you, sister. Ladies, sisters, greetings. Before I say anything, can you please join me in thanking Melanie for creating this space for black women? Woo! There is nothing like having time to spend with your sisters, especially when we get to plot, plan, and gather. And so with that, again, my name is Audra, and I wear quite a few hats, including being a political strategist. But the hat that I'm wearing today is as a clinician. Sister Melanie mentioned when she was up here the school-to-prison pipeline. And I thank her for that because it's a critically important issue that needs to be lifted. We oftentimes think about suspensions and expulsions in the context of our boys. And it's important for us to do that because it's real. But it's also important for us to think about it in the context of our girls because we are also disproportionately impacted. I can't tell you, sisters, how many times as a licensed behavior specialist I have been called into schools to come and fix little girls who look like us. I would arrive at the school, and I'm a clinician, so I have a checklist. And I say, okay, what seems to be the presenting problem? I've been told by people who are not trained and thereby not authorized to tell me that, but just tell me about the behavior that you are witnessing. And I would get things like, oh, well, she has oppositional defiant disorder, and if she just has 10 milligrams of Concerta, then she'll be fine. And so I said, okay, well, let's talk about the criteria for oppositional defiant disorder. Nobody could tell me. And I would say, okay, well, what are the behaviors that are being displayed? She's aggressive. Okay, well, let's operationally define aggressive. Did she hit you? No. Did she threaten to hit you? No. Did she posture to hit you? No. Did she flip over a table? No. So I would go down this lengthy checklist because, again, you told me that you believe that this child has a psychological disorder. And I would get to the bottom of my checklist only to realize that you called me in here for a look. So let me see the look. What's the look? And then they would be embarrassed. Well, you called me in here because you said that she looked at you in a manner that was aggressive. So let me see the look. So sisters, again, I will be very brief. Little girls who look like us are disproportionately impacted by school suspensions and expulsions. We are disproportionately impacted by these dress codes that are supposed to be race neutral. We are kicked out of school saying that the way that our hair grows out of its head is a violation of school rules. Our children are being sent home for having locks and protective styles like braids, and it's not okay. We are being called sassy when we are demonstrating abilities to think critically, and we are spending time away from school. So if school is valuable, then we should be in the classrooms on the receiving end of this instruction, not on the receiving end of disciplinary actions that are taken against our children that are disproportionate. So, sisters, my charge is very simple. You've been talking about advocacy for the duration of this conference. So I want you all to advocate for educational equity. I want you to advocate against the criminalization of black girls and boys, because it's important. And I want you to, when there are cases in which our children do need additional services, because that's a reality too, I want you to advocate for counselors, not police. I have never met a school resource officer who was as qualified as I am to actually deal with the behaviors as a children. So advocate for black girls and protect black girls. Sisters, go out there and get it done. Woo!
So Janice, if we put on music, that means you got to pop it out up here. Come on. Come on. Everybody get up. Who runs the world? Can we turn it up? It's a dance moment.
Good evening, sisters. Good evening, sisters. The energy in this room is so contagious. Is it working? I know y'all would rather hear the music than me. I don't blame you. But I want to get serious with you if I can for just a minute. I'm Janice Mathis. For those who don't know me, I'm Executive Director of the National Council of Negro Women. Next year, we'll be 85 years old. Woo! And what that means is that Mary McLeod's vision, Mary McLeod Bethune's vision for 1935 when the issue, Avis, was fighting lynching. That's why they organized. Now, they had some euphemisms about the other reasons that they were organizing. Political power and education, but they wore black armbands every day that somebody was lynched. And that was 2,000 times. And so what does that say to us today? When people say black lives don't matter, did lynching matter? Are we still fighting some of the same fights today in 2019 that we had to fight in 1930? And ought we be depressed about that? Mad, because I'm 64 years old. I've been basically fighting the same thing all my life since I was 20. But let me tell you something about fighting. You can't stop fighting. Can you, Julianne? It's like tug of war. You drop your end of the rope if you want to. They'll pull you into the mud. And so because we have black girls with magic and grandsons with beautiful eyes, we keep on fighting. And 15-year-old boys, we can't leave them in a world where we stop fighting. Now, we got a president, and Julianne, I don't call him 45. I call him President of the United States because we elected him. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, because I didn't go to Charlotte. I knew people in Charlotte. I should have been in Charlotte walking the street, knocking on doors in the hot sun. And I thought I had gotten beyond that. I thought that Melanie and other folk would take care of that, and I didn't have to go knocking on doors and doing retail politics anymore. I'm too sophisticated. I got a job in Washington, D.C. I ain't got to do that no more. I was wrong. I bet I know 10,000 Negroes in Charlotte, North Carolina. Might could have turned the race around, Robin, if I hadn't been too cute to go to Charlotte. But I was, and this is what I got. And so he is the president of the United States of America. And I ain't blame nobody but me. And we can't blame nobody but us. Because 53% of our white sistering, 53% of our white sistering, 53% of our white sistering thought it was all right to be grabbed anywhere, anyhow, by anybody. And because they are victims, you know what Stockholm Syndrome is. Victims identify with the oppressors. My mama wouldn't let my daddy tell her who to vote in 1960. He voted for Nixon, and she said, I ain't with that. Joseph, you vote for him if you want to. I'm voting for that other boy, that Kennedy boy. And so me and my sister grew up thinking that women had self-determination. We didn't need it. And because we are stuck in this, unless we're ready to go to Ghana, this is the year of return. Maybe it is the year to leave. But unless it's the year to leave, we are stuck with them. Which means we have to lead them. Who was the sister that got up here saying America needs us? Where are you? Yeah. Talking about they need. I'm telling you, if we don't lead them, they won't be led. If we don't lead them, they won't survive. And so whether we like it or not, whether we understand them or not, I was so mad that day they had that women's march. They marched past my office. We served coffee and water. And I'm saying, what am I giving them something to drink for? They done betrayed all of us. I want to put a chokehold on them. We the only real Christians you know in the world, right? We're nobody but us. Forgive and forget for the sake of the country. For the sake of all the children getting an education. When I graduated from law school, I owed the University of Georgia $1,500 whole dollars. I've been to Duke and the University of Georgia, and I owe $1,500 whole dollars for a Class A education. We have commoditized education. It used to be we were scared of the Russians. Now we're friends with the Russians. So when we were scared of the Russians, everybody had to get an education because we needed everybody to fight. A mind really was a terrible thing to waste. But we changed the paradigm, and we've got to change it back. But that's not what I got up here to tell you. I got up here to tell you that President Trump, as of March 13, 2019, has confirmed 91 Article 3 judges. While we listening to Rachel and them rant and rave on MSNBC, and I do it too, and Cuomo on CNN, Trump has put 91 lifetime serving judges on the bench. 2 justices of the Supreme Court, 36 judges for the United States Court of Appeals, 53 judges for the United States District Courts. They'll be there for the rest of your children's lives. While we are watching him clown and carry on and act a fool and don't know enough about the government to know that he can't pardon somebody for a state offense because he's a federal officer. While we watch him clown and carry on, they are carrying off the United States government. And that I would submit to you, my sisters, is one of the reasons that we're so grateful to Melanie for bringing us together in this way, in this trusting space, in this heartfelt camaraderie that we have here, with all of this energy and all this enthusiasm. Because what I know for sure is that same God that got my grandmama out of Cordele, Georgia with 2 boys and no husband, that same God that delivered Fannie Lou Hamer, that same God that took King and Chisholm and all the rest of them, gonna take care of us. If Trump really knew who he was messing with, he'd leave us alone. But he doesn't, and we do. And so whether you gay, straight, light, dark, short, fat, AKA Delta, we are in this thing together, and that's where I expect us to stay. God bless you. God keep you. and make his face shine on you and give you peace. Do I want you to join my, of course I want you to join my organization. The National Council of Negro Women. And we still Negroes. Yeah. That was the polite term. We went from being colored to being Negro, then the African American, and black. Thank you all.
All right. I don't know. I'm very loud, so I actually cannot tell the difference between the mic being on or off, but you all probably can. All right. The next person we're going to call up is incredibly special. She has been a part of and leading work to free 1.4 million people. Without any further delay, and really not needing much of an introduction herself, the Director of Strategic Partnerships from the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, Sheena Mead.
Greetings, my sisters. Greetings, my sisters. So, you know, I'm usually the hype one, ready to get the party started, but I'm coming in a different spirit tonight because we're at a place of urgency and seriousness. And so when we understand whose shoulders that we stand on and understand the struggle and the fight that was before us, our fight for freedom looks a little bit different. And I believe sometimes that we don't take stuff as serious as we need to because we don't know our history. I'm coming back from about last month. I went to Birmingham and I went to Montgomery, and my attitude just been a little bit more stink about the situation. Oh, y'all didn't hear me. Okay, so I saw my ancestors who were lynched for voting. I saw the people who were killed because of freedom. And so I come in the spirit of Harriet T. Moore, who led the fight for voting rights in Florida, who lost her life in 1951, whose house was bombed on Christmas night for trying to register people to vote in Florida. I come in the spirit of Moses Norman, a prosperous African-American farmer who only lived 15 miles from me, who tried to vote twice on Election Day 1920, and they killed him and burnt down the whole city of Ocoee. Over 56 blacks died and 2 white people because one black man tried to vote. So with that, I just want to give y'all just a little bit of history because we clap about what happened with Amendment 4, but I need y'all to understand the power of what really happened. I just spoke about 2 people who lost their lives, a community that was burnt to the ground. After the freeing of slaves, right, they had to figure out how they could continue to have us do free labor, and mass incarceration came, and you had the Jim Crow laws. Well, 1868, they put in the Florida Constitution, right? They basically put in there that people who did their time and who was convicted of a felony, no matter if they did their time and did probation, they will lose their voting rights for life. I need y'all to understand that Florida had a ban for life. So my sisters in these rooms who all helped call and make phone calls and came down to door knock, I want to let you know that on November 6th, we woke up the ancestors. We heard the chains break of 200 years of oppression that you all did. 200 years. This could have been done many ways, but it was black women who was a part of that fight who led that journey with Desmond to roll back 200 years of oppression. On January 8th, 1.4 million people were eligible to vote, and you just saw where Desmond was registering to vote for the first time. But right now, I need folks to understand that the fight is not over. They didn't think that we was going to win. They thought that was an impossible. Because how the hell somebody got about to take back something we did 200 years ago? If you ain't do it then, you can't do it now. But God has something else in store. So now, recently, just today, y'all saw me running around. The Florida legislature thinks they could put their hand on our vote. I need y'all to understand this. The Florida legislature think they could put their hand on our vote. And for far too long, our folks had to depend on their mothers, their wives, their sisters and brothers for their voices to be heard because they had no voice at the voting box. But on January 8th, we didn't say, let my people vote no more. We said, this is our vote, our voice. Our vote, our voice. Our voice. And so people have been registering to vote in Florida. They have already participated in elections. People are thinking about 2020, but let me tell you something. We have local elections that's already happened where the sheriff, the clerk, the mayor, who all impact these policies that impact people. People have already been showing up to the polls who are formerly incarcerated, convicted felons, to the polls, returning citizens. But today, there's a piece of legislation that 15 lawmakers are trying to be confusing to people and say, we want to tell you what the completion of sentence means. Now, if anybody knows this was a citizen initiative. The people put this on the ballot because we said we're not waiting for politicians. It's self-executing, very clear. But people are trying to find a way to make it confusing. So we need folks this is my call to action. And I'll give you the number when we leave out of here, but we need you all to reach out to the legislature because let me tell you something. Amendment 4 won in every state house seat in Florida. We had 5 million people vote for yes on 4. I just want to add this was a movement led by a black man, too. Let me just put that in there. But 5 million people voted. 1 million more people voted for this than any candidate on the ballot. Whites, blacks, or whatsoever. We needed 60%. People said, y'all may not make it the first time. We got 64.5%. And so right now, this is a crucial moment because they're trying to put us back almost 200 years. And I'm coming, but this is so important because this does not just impact Florida. This impacts every state that's in here. Florida, y'all need to understand, Florida, hello, y'all seen what just happened. Every time a president's elected, it comes down to who? Florida. 1.4 million people have the right to vote and are registered, and they're trying to put their hands on it. And so it is our duty to fight for our freedom. So I need my sisters to stand up. I need y'all to, literally stand up. Because of the work that we have all done, I want y'all to all interlock arms. Sis, let's interlock arms. Because this thing is serious. My pain and my emotions are real. Especially when we see the people who have died for the right. We talk about it, but listen, y'all, when I walked through Montgomery and I went through the lynching, I seen the names. Black man burnt, tried to vote. Sister lynched because she wanted just to, I don't know, somebody, I think they said intoxicated in public. These issues are real. And so it is our duty to fight for our freedom. We cannot wait on politicians. We can't wait on party politics because it'll let you down. It is our duty as sisters. Let me tell you something. We had 62% of black women turned out in the midterm election. That number to me is low. It is a nice number, but it's high, but it's still low because it was only 62 out of the eligible black women. And let me tell you something, our men are returning because most of the men has been registering to vote, but we got black women sisters that we got to lift up because we need to let them know that we need their voices there for their children. And so there are black women who are eligible who are not registered. We got 3 million African Americans who are sitting out of the election process in Florida. We have work to do. And that is not even including the 1.4. So it's our duty to fight for our freedom. So let's do this. We're going to do this 3 times. And you're going to repeat after me. And we'll get loud on the last one. We're going to scream into the top of the lungs and blow these goddamn speakers out. Y'all ready? All right, let me make sure I get it right when I do. All right. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other.
We must love each other.
And support each other.
And support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
I need y'all to think about your ancestors on this next one. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. I need y'all to inhale and get ready to exhale. You're only going to exhale when we break these chains. All right? I want you to close your eyes. Let it come from your belly. Think about the people before us who have died. Think about that 1.4 who was just so excited to finally have their voices heard, but then hear that the politicians want to play partisan politics with their god darn livelihood. And let's do this and let the people upstairs hear us. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other. And support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. One more time, we have nothing to lose but our chains. Y'all break them chains.
Ashe, ashe. Miss Hunter, I don't know how you're going to follow that, but North Carolina, when we dance it out, then I need you to come on up. Bring it up. Where the young folks? That area right here? Come on, y'all break it down. Come on, break it down. Okay.
Go up. Got it.
That was some very important history and some very touching things that are going on in Florida. I stand here to represent North Carolina. My name is Wanda Hunter, and I'm here from Blueprint, North Carolina, in place of our fearless leader, Ms. Erin Byrd. North Carolina is facing some of the same issues with Florida. Right now, we're looking at 2 special elections in eastern North Carolina. If you know anything about North Carolina, eastern North Carolina is where our people mainly reside. We got hit with a heavy hurricane, Hurricane Florence, back in October, and people are still recovering from a hurricane that was 2 years prior, and the federal government and the state government has not given them money to repair their homes. So our people in eastern North Carolina are struggling, but we've been right by their side. We've developed a table in eastern North Carolina to teach our people how to advocate and how to get things done. So we've been going to the General Assembly and getting things done in North Carolina for our people in eastern North Carolina. Right now, I stand here before you to lift up 2 of the people that are part of Black Women's Roundtable that have been working fearlessly this year. One of which who was here during the conference. Her name is Crystal Richardson out of Durham, North Carolina. And the way that we organize in North Carolina is we have city delegates. And she was a city delegate for Durham, North Carolina. And she's an attorney and an advocate for marginalized and underserved communities. Crystal came in, I think, last year. We had a state summit, and she just took the reins and ran with it. Your girl was just doing all kinds of work, virtual phone banks, a brunch and breathe where women could come and have health and healing, a healing session, We actually had a Kwanzaa celebration last year, but Crystal came in and she joined the organization and she showed up and she showed out. And we just want to lift her up, and we'll make sure that she gets her award when she gets back home. So, Crystal Richardson. We also had our Emerging Leader Award, and that award goes out to Passion Hunter, who happens to be my daughter. And Passion is a freshman at Broughton High School, and last year she was selected to be the state lead for the Black Girls Initiative. And when I say she took the honor and ran with it, she went back home and started working towards the the girls track for our state summit. So she created a T-shirt logo. She's getting ready to write a proposal of how she can get things done in North Carolina. She also got selected to be the vice president of the Raleigh A. Philip Randolph Institute. So this young lady's out there. She's registering people to vote. She's doing phone banks. So she's out there doing a thing. So I just wanted to recognize her also.
Thank you. And yeah.
That's it? That's it? Okay. Take our picture. Come on. And this, just for context, we had our Sisters Awards the other night, and we weren't able to get North Carolina done, and there's no way we're going to have you leave without getting this award. So you are our now, not just our future. So come on over here. Take this picture.
I'm Cassandra Welchland. I'm co-convener of the Mississippi Black Women's Roundtable and state organizer. When we talk about what's at, yay, Mississippi. When I think about what's at stake in Mississippi and in the South, particularly in Mississippi, I really do bring in this room those 600,000 black women in Mississippi that stand here with you all, fighting for the same causes. I stand here saying that with those 600,000 black women, what's on the line are the safety net programs that provide and help make ends meet for their families. I stand here with you all for over the 52% of the poor black children in Mississippi who are living in poverty and are needing their parents, particularly their moms, to be able to work. And so I bring them here with me tonight to stand with you and to say that we won't stop organizing. We bring the spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer, L.C. Dorsey, who fought to make sure that our rights are protected, but also that we will bring these women to the policy table so they can be a part of the implementation and the formation of the public policies. And so tonight, I just close in the memory of Shatiria Shoemaker, and I shared this story. Shatiria Shoemaker, who died January 27th because the hospital in Chickasaw County, Houston, Mississippi, the emergency room of that hospital was closed down because the patients could not pay their doctors. Nowhere in this country should that happen. And so today, I hope you stand with me as I continue to stand with the other women in Mississippi to make sure that these women, their lives are protected and that they are able to live and have a quality of life and they can raise their children. So in the memory of Shatiria Shoemaker, I would like for you all to join with me in making sure that no other woman have to die of an asthma attack because her emergency room was closed down. So we will continue to advocate for her and for all those 600 Black women in the state of Mississippi. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Welchin. We are going to close out now. I'm sorry. And we are going to call up all of the young people, so everyone who is under the age of 25, to share the stage with us as Ms. Solandra Benton speaks.
And get everybody to stand up and come on, get close. We're getting ready to close out. Fired up.
Fired up.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Fired up.
Fired up.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. They ready.
You're ready.
Our young people is ready. Yes. Are my young people ready?
And we're going
to
close in a circle. Our BWR affiliate leaders, come stand up here. Stand up here. And everybody lock arms and aims. Come on, we're closing this thing out. We want to thank you all for coming. We want to thank you all for what you've done. We want to thank you all for what you're going to get done, because we are the power that we seek. We are all that we need. God is on our side, because we're on the side of the people. We're on the side of the people. Say it with me. We're on the side of the people. We're on the side of the people. It's time to what? It's time to what? It's time to what?
Leave, rise, and shine.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
All right. You gonna go in prayer? Okay. Everybody lock hands.
I don't know the song. I can't do that. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. What's Tim at? What's Tim at? Tim. Tim.
Okay. She know it. She know it.
Tim. Come on, Tim. Come on, sing. Hit a vocal. Hit a vocal.
Oh, you don't know it? Is that the one that's supposed to know?
We gotta give a song that we can know. Can we get a song we know so we can sing it together?
She know it. She know it. Okay.
I am a superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Still put on my best, but not so much as so. Yes, I'm a superwoman.
Is he gonna stop? Bob, we thank everybody. And we get ready to close this out in prayer. Keep your arms locked together. Everybody come close as you can. Father, and we ask that you pray to whoever you believe in, the higher power, because we all have the higher power that lives within us. So we search inside of us for our strength. We search inside of us for our peace. We search inside of us for our joy. We search inside of us for our directions to lead, to rise, to shine. And Father, we thank you because we know that you have given us as women, young women, a mission on this earth, Father. Lord, to do your will, Father, to reach your people, to fight for your people, to advocate for your people. Father, to encourage your people, to lift your people up. As we lead, God, Lord, we help to develop other leaders, Father. Lord, as we rise, only way we can rise is we help lift someone else up, Father.
Lord, as we shine, only way that we can shine is that we light the light in someone else, Father. And Lord, I ask that you give us the power and the strength and recognizing that you is always with us as we walk. Even in the darkest hours, we will shine. Father, even when we don't want to get up, Father, you will lift us up. And Father, even when we don't think that we're a leader because we have failed, Father, you will cover us and you will pick us up. But Father, we thank you. We thank you for each one that hear my voice. Father, we thank you for their homes. We thank you for their children, their children. We thank you for their spouse, their partners, Father. And Lord, that you will give them vision in each and every one of them, and that collectively you will give us a vision that we will not perish. Father, we come together and we ask that you forgive us for all our sins and transgressions, Father. We turn from our wicked ways, and we have humbled ourselves here together that you may heal our land. And we thank you, Father. We thank you. We thank you. Amen.
Thank you all. Thank you all. We rise to shine. Thank you all. Good night.
Ask him to put on some music for the dance.
Everyone, let's give one great big thank you to Melanie Cameron.